Hello everybody, Medusa is back, and today I wanted to discuss about a place that I worked at that I was very proud of, but it ended on a very bad note. And that place was an ice cream parlor known as Maggie Mooz. At the time, it was different compared to others. When I began there, I worked under a guy and we were setting up locations. As soon as we in turn would get that location going, we go on to the next. And then I got to the point to where I was put in a position at one location, but a position came available not too far from where I lived, so I jumped at that. And right off the bat, within a month, I realized I made a mistake. I looked at all the should I say, the employees that's been in and out of that place since the place opened, and there was a number of managers that had a very, very short shelf life. And the ones above me believe that the best way to get business is to give the customer what they want, which means give the customer more, but not charge more. And sure, they in turn will go out and tell their friends and all that other stuff, and more business will come in. But that eats away at your profits. I would look at the books every time that they would work, and they were always in the red and how it was that they was able to survive. But every time that I worked, well, the books were in the black. I complained to the president of the company to see if they can do it, and they said that there's nothing to do about it. Almost every day that I worked, I would get a call from the people above me saying that, well, customers were complaining. But yet, I never heard anything. I began at that location in the spring of one year, and then by the time that New Year's Eve came up, the franchise holder came in and told me that, well, that's my last day. I asked how come. He said it was because I told a customer that I felt that the owner's wife was stupid and that I did not fit into their idea of management material. So, but karma came back and bit them hard. As soon as I in turn found out, I contacted the employees that was on my side, and I told them what had happened. And within a couple of months, a number of those employees quit, which means that the owners themselves had to work the jobs. And each employee that stayed there was reminding them how much of a mistake they made in getting rid of me. They in turn would bring in replacements, new employees, and they would say, okay, here's what not to do, referring to how I would do the job. And then the employees that was still there that I knew, they would pull that person aside and says, don't listen to him, listen to what we do. After that, the morale really went down. And then the spring of the following year, not even 6 months after I got pink slip, the owners of that business sold it to another guy. And I'm like, okay, well, that's the reason why they didn't do anything. Then the new guy steps in, and his accountants dissected every single location. I mean, they dissected the books. And then they went through the books of the location that I was at. And then they realized just how much of mistakes that they were making. So they went by the bylaws of the franchise company, by the franchise that is, and they realized that I was right all along. And they kicked them out. And then the new owners of the business called me up and offered me that location. All I had to do was just give them a percentage of the income for that month. No franchise fees, nothing. I said, well, thank you, but I've already got a good job. Within a year after that location had closed, I was at a gas station filling up, and I saw the guy who pink slipped me. I mean, and this guy was in bad shape. His clothes were all tore up, driving a clunker. He was scruffy. I mean, I could smell him from where I was standing. And I'm with my wife driving a brand new car. He tells me that the new owner stepped in and he was fired. And being part of the franchise owner, he had to pay a fine. Him and his wife finally divorced, and she got him for a big chunk. And then he had the gall to ask me to help him get a job where I work at. I laughed and quickly got away from this guy. So, Medusa out.